my thoughts. I shut it down wherever power is stored. Being real is in the past, watching cowards get on. It ain't kill me, so it's making me stronger. And these bite-sized rappers now sense
What the hell's going on, people? This is Periodic, and you see the title of the video. We are jumping back into Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle in order to go over a list that I created of the top 20 free-to-play, freely obtainable characters that are not LRs in the game. So these are going to be TURs. These are going to be level 120 characters. They could be level 140 characters if they're easy A's. But these are all free-to-play characters who I think are the top 20 free-to-play TURs in the game and who you should prioritize in rainbowing. I was thinking, is there a different pronunciation for prioritize? But it's priority. So prioritize rainbowing these guys, okay? Get all the copies up to SA10, SA15. Get them rainbowed, all pass open, all that stuff, okay? And this is a very loose list. And if we kind of scroll down, this is all of the free-to-play characters, by the way. But this is a very loose list. And what I mean by that is it's not a hard, okay, this guy is number 20, this guy's number 19, this guy's number 18. It's just like, I thought about it for a few minutes, and then I kind of created this top 20. But realistically, you should be attempting to get every single one of these characters fully rainbowed out because they're going to serve you very, very well. You can't go wrong with any of these characters, okay? So just keep that in mind. I am not going to include the Ginyu Force or the Bardock team because honestly, you should be grinding both of those teams out 100%. And like I said before, I will not be including the LRs either on here because, I mean, every single free-to-play LR, you should be grinding either way. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. At number 20 is going to be Destructive Android, Android 18. This is strength, and this girl is very good on long events, okay? Stacks attack and defense every single super attack. So you're looking at a 20% increase every single super attack. 70% attack and defense is what she starts with. And she gains an additional 70% attack and defense plus a 25% chance to dodge when you have a 17 in the same turn. And if you're facing a hybrid Saiyans, you're going to just launch an additional super attack. So that means you're going to stack by 40% attack and defense that turn. So very, very good on long events when her and 18 are able to get their super attacks and passives to link up and whatnot. And then the links are very good with a 17 right next door to them. So it does have to be a future Android 17. Just keep that in mind, which is here. So you're really just looking at this physical 17 and this tech 17, okay, in terms of who you want to bring along to be able to match this particular requirement here. So very good unit, very solid free-to-play unit, and it works in tandem with number 19. Which just so happens to be Android 17 Future. So this is the tech one, Lethal Android. Again, same thing, stacks attack and defense by 20%, supreme damage. Starts off with 70% attack and defense, just like the 18. Gains an additional 70% attack and defense, just like the 18. But what I think he does better is he has a 25% chance to crit as long as you have 18 in the same turn instead of dodge. I do like that it's dodge instead of crit. Or I'm sorry, I do like that it's crit instead of dodge. I think that's way, like having 25% crit is way more impactful than having 25% dodge, in my opinion. Launches an additional super attack if there's a hybrid Saiyan's enemy. Same thing as the 18. So they work in tandem with each other. They are a dynamic duo. You definitely want to have these two together. But I do think because of the crit, that puts the 17 in a better position than the 18. But honestly, you should be farming both of them together because they work very, very well together. Let's move along. Unstoppable Evolution Ahm's third form. This guy's just a great support for extreme class allies. And not only that, he's a fantastic support for artificial life forms. So he gives himself 50% attack and defense, which is not bad. Lowers attack and defense on the super attack. And then gives extreme allies 2 key, 30% defense. And if you're an artificial life form, you will also get 30% attack. So that's a pretty solid support there. 2 key, 30% attack and defense. And the thing that I love, unlike some free-to-play supports, this dude actually gives himself stats as well. That 50% attack and defense is pretty important. And then the links are not bad, right? Loyalty, Metamorphosis, Tough as Nail, Big Bad Bosses, Kamehameha, Fear and Faith, and Shattering the Limit is not bad at all. Like, if we take a look at what Fear and Faith does, it negates enemies' defense by 10% and 2 key, so that's a nice little key link there. If you look at something like Kamehameha, a lot of attack, right? 10% on the super attack is very, very good. Shattering the Limit, obviously, is a pretty solid link. 2 key, attack and defense 5%. And then, of course, Big Bad Boss is one of the best in the game. 25% attack and defense. What's this at? Link level 10, no HP requirement. Is insane. So you can imagine that with a Big Bad Boss unit, as long as you're right next to this AMS will be giving you 2 key, 55% attack and defense. That's very strong. That is very, very strong on top of every other link, right? Like, if so I don't believe anybody's going to share all these links, but even then, 2 key, 5% damage reduction, like, you're getting health back on Metamorphosis. So the thing that I like about this AMS is you can use them with cells, or you can use them against with Majin Buus. You kind of can mix them, in between, and you can kind of mix them with Rosés as well because of the Kamehameha and the Fear and Faith and stuff like that. So pretty solid unit, good free to play, as I said before, and definitely someone that you should add to your repertoire. All right, let's move over to 17. And 17 is going to be Lord Slug when he's Extreme Z Awakened. So he's doing supreme damage. He's lowering defense, but he has a 30% chance to stun for 2 turns, which is solid. And then his stats are just pretty good on his passive. 3 key gives himself 100% attack and defense. The more HP he has, he gains 30% attack and defense. As he starts losing that health, then he'll lose that. But even still, not bad. If he's facing 2 or more enemies, he's going to give himself an additional 30% attack and defense. And then if you somehow drop below 30% HP, you recover 30% HP. So not bad at all, in my opinion. I think he's pretty solid for a Extreme Z free-to-play unit. His links are pretty good, besides like Demonic Ways and Namekians. But Nightmare is solid, Metamorphosis, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Shattering the Limit. If your free-to-play unit has Big Bad Bosses, that's a massive dub. That's a big W right there. Because, like, you can, like, dude, 25% attack and defense. Come on now. That's something that you just have to be like, all right, thank you for adding it onto my free-to-play self. Because if not, jeez. So they did a good job with the Extreme Z Awakening on this Lord Slug. I do think he's better than the Kaioken Goku. And so don't expect that Kaioken Goku to be on this list. The Piccolo Kaioken Goku, he's not going to be on it. I do think Lord Slug is the better of the two. And that's why he is on the 17th spot. Let's keep it moving. Number 16, Saiyan of a New Dimension, Super Saiyan Goku. So this guy actually starts off as an SR. If I remember correctly, I think he starts off as Super Saiyan SR. Yeah, Super Saiyan SR, then goes into this God SSR, and then goes into this Super Saiyan TUR. And that's because in the movie, he essentially loses the God power and then goes Super Saiyan, but he retains the God power. It's like all this weird stuff. But anyway, again, 30% chance to stun the enemy, solid. Recovers 10% HP. Very rare for super units. Mostly it's extreme units like the Majin characters and certain Friezas that recover HP. So this dude recovers 10% HP. Attack and defense 59% at the start of turn. Pretty, typical for a Goku unit, 5'9", right? Plus an additional 59% attack with 5 or more orbs obtained. Not the hardest thing to do. Not easy, but not the hardest thing to do. And he's going to give himself an additional 59% attack and defense when there's a Realm of God category enemy. So pretty solid. There's a decent amount of Realm of God category enemies. Let's actually go ahead and click this right here and take a look at this category. So it's a big category. There's a lot of Realm of God units, as you can see here. So that's not really a difficult requirement to obtain. Solid lineup, in my opinion. solid lineup. So it's not like, face off against special pose and stuff like that. So good links too on the family. Shocking speed, prepared for battle, Kamehameha, shattering the limit, Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior. Everything's very, very good. And the fact that, like I said before, you're going to be stacking those different passive effects. So you're going to be pretty high up there in terms of the damage that you're doing, right? Like, at the end of the day, if he's facing a Realm of Gods unit and he's claiming 5 or more orbs, you're at 177% attack. You're at 177% attack. That ain't bad. And being at 118% defense, that's not bad either. So he's, limited in who he can fight to be at his best, but the Realm of Gods category is not a small category, so it's not really a shaft. So I do believe that this Goku does belong in the 16th spot. So let's go over to number 15, and it's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, the Extreme Z Awakened one. First off, free sticker, you gotta love that. But number 2, this is a good Super Saiyan Blue card. And if you want to fit this spot for Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku cards, there's not a lot of great ones. So having this guy here is very good. Greatly raises attack, supreme damage, so that's a 15% increase, which means he's going to do decent damage. Attack and defense, 77%. 4 key, an additional 50% defense when there's a movie boss enemy. Now, movie boss is not the biggest category, but it's decent because there's a lot of different bosses, right? There's a lot of different Broly bosses. You have certain Turles bosses. You have the different, like I said, different Brolys, Beerus, Coolers, and then you have all these guys, right? The androids, the Coolers, Slugs, Janembas, Tapion randomly, cats like that, the Bojacks and stuff like that. All of the movie bosses. And then eventually when we get like Garlic Jr., when we get Dr. Wheelo in here, they'll be added into this list as well. Golden Frieza, everything from both Dragon Ball Super as well as Dragon Ball Z are in there. And so that's what's going to allow him to give himself that 4 key and give himself that defensive boost, which is a good little bump up. You know what I mean? It's a nice little bump up, putting him at 27% defense. That's pretty good, specifically because he's increasing his attack by 50% when he's attacking. So essentially, he's going to be at 127% attack and defense if he's fighting a movie boss category enemy when he supers. That's pretty good for a free-to-play unit. And again, his links are fantastic. We're looking at experienced fighters, warrior gods, prepared for battle, shattering the limit, Saiyan warrior race, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha. All very good links. And if we move right along, we got the Vegeta there as well with very, very good links for a, free-to-play unit. Saiyan warrior race, royal lineage, prodigy, Super Saiyan, warrior gods, prepare for battle, shattering the limit. Now, the reason why I put this guy ahead of the Goku is because he greatly raises his defense when he super attacks. So he doesn't have to fit that requirement of facing off against a movie boss enemy in order to get his defense. He gets it just off supering. So he's 77% attack and defense, 4 key, and then he gains that attack when he, 50% attack when he fights off against a movie boss category enemy. So I do think it's more beneficial to have defense over attack, and that's why I have the Vegeta where he is in front of the Goku. Okay, let's move along. Gotenks. So Gotenks and Ghost, the Halloween card. This guy you may think is not that great, but he is super useful for a lot of teams. So first off, he greatly raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, which is a 50% increase. Does supreme damage and a 50% chance to stun. So that's very solid. 50% chance to stun. He also randomly changes orbs to rainbow, and then he gains 7% attack and defense per orb. But you don't really care at that point, right? If he's grabbing rainbow orbs, it's going to be about 10,000 HP back and 30% attack and defense per rainbow orb. So that's actually a high number. And then if you grab candy, you're recovering HP, but it's like, who really cares about that, right? The reason why I like this guy quite a bit is because he's useful on a lot of different game modes. Because of his 50% stun mechanic, you could potentially bring him on Super Battle Road. You could potentially bring him on certain events on Ultimate Clash. Because he's a Rainbow Orb Changer, he's good for a lot of different units that struggle with Ki. Whether you're looking at someone like, well, not necessarily struggle with Ki, but people that want Rainbow Orbs, right? So it's like if you're going on the Super Saiyans team and you're putting AGL Spirit Bomb Goku on there, then definitely it's a smart choice to have him. If you're going on Joint Forces and you want AGL Kale and Caulifla to be able to do a bunch of super attacks, then boom, throw the Rainbow Orbs on there so they can make sure that they're getting their Ultra Supers and stuff like that. So this guy is very, very good. Again, good link set, Shadow Limit, Prepare for Battle, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Lineage, Fused Fighter, Golden Warrior, and the Innocence. So all pretty solid. And, you know, overall, he's just a pretty good character on a bunch of different game modes. All right, so next up, Ultimate Power Up Ultimate Gohan. So this dude's an attack stacker. So 30% attack every time he supers. Gives himself 58% attack and defense. That's 5'8", which is typical because, you know, his name is Gohan, which is the kanji for 5 and 8. Plus an additional attack and defense 58% and a 50% chance of doing an additional super attack if he's got a Goku's family ally attacking in the same turn. That is such an easy condition to tick off the box. You know what I mean? Goku's family ally on the same rotation. Well, he's on Hybrid Saiyans, so you're going to have a ton of Gokus or Gohans and Gotenks. He's on Majin Buu Saga. You're going to have a bunch of Gokus. He's on Goku's family. Duh. He's on Siblings Bond, a bunch of Gohans and Gotenks. He's on Revenge. You know, you could put Bardock and stuff on there. He's on Rapid Growth, Gohan and Goten. He's on Saviors, Goku and Gohan. So there's a lot of Goku's family characters that you can have on his rotation, and that's going to allow him. And again, it's not Goku, it's Goku's family. So it could be other Gohans too. And that will allow him to really pop off. The fact that it's a 50% chance of an additional super attack, not just an additional attack, an additional super attack is kind of busted. And the fact that he'll be sitting at 116% attack and defense, that's pretty crazy. And that's not even it. He still is a mini support. He gives Goku's family allies 1 ki and 10% attack and defense. That's pretty good. And his links are pretty good too. Supreme Power, Power Bestowed by God, Shadow Limit, Shocking Speed, all in the family for that defense, Saiyan Lineage and Saiyan Warrior Race. All in all, very solid character. Let's move it along. Strength Caulifla, Super Saiyan 2, raises defense by 30%. So it's kind of weird that they word it like that. Cause supreme damage and raise defense by 30%, because that's essentially just raising defense since it's 30%. I don't know why they worded it like that. But anyway, attack and defense 20%. And chance of dodging 15%. Every Universal Survival Saga ally you have on your team, you gain an additional attack and defense 20% plus 15%. So that caps at 80% attack and defense and 60% dodge. 6-0. 6-0. Not to mention, if you have Kale in your team, you gain an additional 50% attack. 50% attack. And if Kale is on your rotation, then you launch an additional attack that has a 25% chance of becoming a super attack. And yeah, you're pretty solid. You're pretty good. Very, very great free-to-play choice. You can get to some pretty good numbers since you're, you know, gaining that defense increase. And if you're super attacking multiple times, your defense could get to a very high number. But not to mention that, it's a baby Kale and Caulifla because you're getting that ridiculous 60% dodge. Dude, that is better than LRUI Goku after his turns are up. He's at 50. This girl's at 60. That's ridiculous. Let's move along. Intelligence Kale. Super Saiyan 2 Kale. Very good support unit, dude. Lowers defense, supreme damage. Universal Survival Saga allies gain 2 ki, 30% attack and defense. And then she gives herself 50% defense if Caulifla is on the same team. And if Caulifla is attacking in the same turn, then you gain 1 ki and 10% attack and defense. For everyone, all allies. So in essence, Universal Survival Saga allies would get 3 ki and 40% attack and defense, plus Kayla is going to give herself an additional 50%, so you're looking at 90% defense. as long as Caulifla is attacking the same turn. Now, don't get me wrong, that does not mean her defense is going to be good. It's still really bad, even with those numbers. And that's why I have like all dodge in her. But just keep that in mind, that you do need a good Caulifla on rotation to really maximize this Kale. But even if you don't, you can just have her as a floater for Universal Survival Saga, whether it's the Keflas, the Jirins, whoever, because she's also got Tournament Power. She's also got Prepare for Battle. She's also got Shattering the Limit. She's got all these great links that are going to really help out. So that's Kale. Next up, from father to son, Kid Goten. Number one, you're going to want an Angel Goku or Trunks Kid. Trunks Kid is going to be so much easier to link up with and to find, honestly. Supreme damage lowers attack, 70% attack and defense. Goku's family gains 1 key and 30% attack and defense. I really like these free-to-play support units that aren't just supports. So this dude does more. 5 key and all allies attack and defense 10% when you have Angel Goku or Trunks Kid in the same turn. So that's really strong, dude, because at that point, you're looking at 1 key and 40% attack and defense for all allies. For Goku's family allies, I should say. Because everyone else will just get the 10%. Goku's family will gain that extra 10 on top of their 30. So we're looking at 1 key and 40% attack and defense. That's very strong. Plus, he's already got 70% attack and defense. That's very strong. Very good. And then, of course, link him up with a Trunks, and he'll be fantastic. A Kid Trunks, to be specific. Next up, most malevolent ever, Golden Frieza. So the reason why I put him here is because he's a great support. Supreme damage raises extreme class allies attack by 30% for 1 turn. So you can put him in the first spot, second spot, and have the rest of the rotation just do a lot of damage. He's got a 30% damage reduction. That's good. That's good. Every time he gets hit, he gains 15% defense up to 60. And not to mention, he's a movie boss support. 2 key, attack and defense 30%. And then great links, right? Strongest clan in space, Universe's most malevolent, Prodigies, Thirst for Conquest, Shocking Speed, Brutal Beatdown, Shattering Limit. Fantastic extreme support. Honestly, links are good. What he does is good. I'm a big fan. Let's move on. Intelligence, Krillin, Technique and Inspiration. We'll actually mention the Android Cell Saga lead because it's 120%. 3 key, 120%. And also stacks defense. So if you're doing like, I think it's the Legendary Goku event or like one of the Infinite Dragon Ball History events where you have to have an Android Cell Saga team, this is actually a great lead to potentially take because he's stacking defense. Attack and defense 80%, plus an additional 7% attack and defense per Android Cell Saga ally on the team, and gives himself 4 key if he's in the first spot, 2 key if he's in the second spot, and he launches an additional super attack if he's facing androids. That's a super attack, not a normal attack, a super attack. His links are kind of wonky, but honestly, doesn't really matter when he's giving himself that much key, when he's giving himself that much attack and defense, when he's stacking defense, all that stuff, very good. And I forgot to mention that he's got a 50% chance to stun you. So, pretty good. Moving on. Answers found in training, Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Gohan Youth, the Extreme Z Awakened version. Again, another defense stacker, lowers attack, gives himself 50% attack and defense, which is solid. Goku's family allies get 2 key and 30% attack and defense. Now, the reason why I really like this card is, number one, their links are great. Number two, they are a Goku's family support, which is one of the best categories in the game. Number three, they stack defense. And number 4, if you so choose to, you can transform third turn of battle. No crazy requirement or condition or anything like that. You just exchange to just the Gohan after the third turn of battle. And at this point, he's a pretty solid little free-to-play unit. Raises attack and defense, so that's a 30% increase. Causes 30% or 20% actually. 30%, okay. Causes supreme damage to enemy and lowers attack and defense. Pretty solid. And now he's giving himself 3 key attack and defense 90%. Plus gives himself an additional 50% attack and defense. And launches 2 additional attacks and a 50% chance to crit if it's an Android Cell Saga enemy. Which is a decent sized category. So All in all, this Gohan is very strong. You probably are going to very seldomly transform simply because this guy here is actually a support and is stacking defense. But you can definitely later on in the fight transform and then just let it rip. You know what I'm saying? So let's move along. Hercule, easy 8 version. Majin Buu Saga lead, doesn't matter. Greatly raises defense, does extreme damage, and lowers attack. Okay. Don't worry about that. This dude is all about defense. He's got a 25% chance to dodge, 40% damage reduction as long as your HP is 40% or more. Majin Buu Saga allies gain 2 ki and 20% attack and defense, so he's also a support. So all in all, very, very good. Now, his transformation is a little wonky, right? Exchanges with Majin Buu when conditions are met. If we go over to the Majin Buu, essentially he has to be hit 5 times to transform. But when he does, this dude is insane. Greatly raises attack and defense, supreme damage, lowers attack, attack and defense 100%. Majin Buu allies now gain 2 ki and 30% attack and defense. Guards all attacks as long as you have a Majin Buu Saga, ally in your turn, and they have to be either a Hercule or a Goku. So this dude, you essentially, when you're here, you want to stack up the defense, right? You're stacking 50% defense every super attack, okay? You got this nice damage reduction. You're taking hits. You're gaining the condition, and then you transform, and now you can actually do a lot of damage. You're an even better support. You're guarding all attacks. You're still great defensively. Like, just really, really good, this Majin Buu. But who's even better is this Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So, he causes supreme damage, greatly lowers defense, 120% attack and defense to start off. And the more HP he's got, he gains up to 60% attack and defense on top of that, which is insane. Starting for the first 3 turns, his attacks are effective against all types, which is wild. His attacks are effective against all types, which is absolutely insane. But then he can devolve. He can actually knock out of his Super Saiyan 3 and go into his normal form, his base form, and do a little Spirit Bomb there. And essentially, the way that happens is after the 3rd turn, your HP has to be 80% or less, and you will devolve. But even this is crazy, because when you're doing your normal super attack, you're raising allies' attack by 25%. That's good. But if you have a Majin Buu Saga Hercule in that same turn, you're doing immense damage. Immense damage for free to play, and you're still raising superclass allies' attack by 25%, but now you're adding defense into that as well? That's pretty wild. And then he does a ridiculous amount of stuff. Changes in orbs to rainbow. Does that once only, but attack and defense 120% plus an additional 30% attack per rainbow orbs. Attacks effective against all types with a rainbow orb obtained. 25% chance of performing a crit when all allies are in the Majin Buu Saga category. Like, bro, what? This dude is actually really strong. Like, what is going on here? He can hit some very strong numbers, and I'm a big fan of this guy. Let's move along and go to Dastardly Last Resort, Goten and Frieza and Sorbet. So, this dude just came out on Global just only a few days ago, but he's already fantastic. Supreme damage, 50% chance to stun, which is always good. 120% attack and defense, as long as your HP is 50% or more. But don't worry about it, because if you drop below 50% HP, you lose that, but you gain 50% damage reduction. You also give yourself 6 ki, and you guarantee perform a crit and stun the enemy if you get hit first. So if you get hit first, kind of like the physical Beerus, where if he gets hit first, he gains that massive, stat boost. This dude will crit you, he'll stun you, and then he'll leave you. So fantastic card, actually pretty darn good for Super Battle Road. Because of the stun and whatnot. The thing that is worrying is him taking that hit first and just getting absolutely clobbered, but It is what it is. He also has a 50% chance to stun on his super. So it's like, damn, what does this dude not do? You know what I mean? Intelligence Frieza is number 2 on our list. Extreme Z Awakened. Stacks attack by 30%. Lowers attack. 100% attack and defense. Guards all attacks. Guards all attacks. And he's a support. All allies. 2 key. Attack and defense 20%. That's all allies, not just extreme allies. That's all allies. And there just has to be a Goku's family enemy, but it's like there's 50 million Goku family enemies. And also, when his guard is active, which, by the way, it's active all time, he reduces damage by 50%. He reduces damage by 50%. So essentially, he's 100% attack and defense. He's an all allies 2 key 20% attack and defense support. And he's got 50% damage reduction. And he stacks attack. Yeah. Who's stronger than him? Well, his brother. The AGL Almighty Cleave Cooler. He stacks defense. And he lowers defense. He's also 100% attack and defense. But his attacks are effective against all types. He gives all allies 2 key, but he reduces all enemies' attack and defense by minus 20%. So that will fit the attack down, defense down requirement that a lot of units need, as long as they're a Goku's family enemy. And he has a 25% chance to launch an additional attack that has, or he guaranteed launches an additional attack that has a 30% chance to become a super attack. So this guy, they were just like, give him everything. Give him attacks effective against all types, make him a support, make him a debuff unit, make him additional super attacks, make him so he lowers enemies' defense, make it so he stacks defense. Like, what in the world? These two together are actually insanely broken. These two. Easy Aid. Free to play. Like, what were they thinking with these guys? And the crazy thing is when you go to the SSR and stuff like that, like, this dude started off as this, right? Attack and defense 2,500. And then this guy was even worse. Look, this guy started as an SR. He started as this card. High chance of 53% attack. This is terrible. Absolutely awful. So there you go. That is the list for my top 20 free-to-play cards, TURs, in the game. If you think I missed someone or should have included someone, please drop it in the comments below. If you are not subscribed to the channel, don't drop that down below. Go down below, gently rub that sub button, gingerly ring that bell button, lovingly kiss the like button. As always, this is Periodic. See y'all in the next video.